Good morning again. My name is Dr. John Taylor Kent. The purpose of my show is to awaken my brothers and sisters in Israel. My previous show is called Giving Psychology Away, so you will see that title interspersed with these others. In this particular case, what we're going to do is I'm going to read through in the book of Genesis. Oh, the heading here is the wickedness of man on this page. The next one are the flood waters. And then we have the flood was 40 days. God remembered Noah. And God blessed Noah, the 3 sons of Noah. And then we have cursed be Canaan. And I think we're going to be going on to the next ones, which are Nimrod the Mighty. And we're going to go to a city and a tower. So I will do my best to get through these. These are the titles at the top of the pages. You know, I'm just getting familiar with this Bible. I'll read it many times, I'm sure. When we ended, and I had a paper clip right at the spot. And I know I stopped in Genesis 6. That's all I can remember, and the paper clip is gone. So here we go. Let's go. Genesis 6. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahweh said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be numbered 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of men was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahweh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repents me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make you an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall you make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which you shall make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shall you make for the ark, and in a cubit shall you finish it above, and the door of the ark shall you set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shall you make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life, from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with you I shall establish my covenant, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come to you to keep them alive. And take you unto you all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to you, and it shall be food for you and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. And Yahweh said unto Noah, Come you and all your house into the ark, for you I have seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast you shall take to you by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according to all that Yahweh commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with them into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creeps upon the earth. There went in 2 by 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the very same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. They, and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein there is breath of life. And they went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and Yahweh shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bore up the ark, and it was lifted above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Genesis 8. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters were turned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, On the first day of the month were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. And he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her into him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he set forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again to him any more. And it came to pass in the 600th year and first day, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth from the ark, you and your wife, and your sons wives with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, both fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatever creeps upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto Yahweh, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and burnt offerings upon the altar. And Yahweh smelled a sweet savor. And Yahweh said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Genesis 9. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moves upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you, even as the green herb I have given you, all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of every man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. And you, be you fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I shall bring a cloud over the earth, and the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which was between me and you and every living thing of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said to Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and he was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the wickedness of his father, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers outside. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done to him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh, God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. I'm getting dry. Next time I'll get a glass of water first. I'm going to continue. I'm going to push on through because of the last part of Genesis 10 where it ends after the flood. I'm going to take it up to that far. We've got to get moving. Genesis 10. Now these are the generations of the son of Noah, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javel, and Tubal, and Mesech, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Rippeth, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodimim. And these were the isles of the Gentiles, and by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabtecha. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedron. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth, and he was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. However, therefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Asher, and built Nineveh, and the city of Rehoboth, and Calais. And Rezin between Nineveh and Calais, and the same is a great city. And Mizraim begot Ludim, and Ananim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrusim, and Calusim, out of whom came Philistim. That's in parentheses. And Kephtorim. And Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgasite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as you come to Gaza, as you go to Sodom and Gomorrah and Admah and Zeboim, even to Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues and their countries, and in their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam and Asher and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz and Hul and Gether and Mash. And Arphaxad begot Selah, and Selah begot Eber. And to Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Jotham. And Jotham begot Almodad, and Sheleph, and Hazarmaphaleth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dilach, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the son of Joktan. And their dwelling was from Mesha, as you go into Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. So we took it up, and the next chapter would be Genesis 11. That's another story. It's very important. And these passages here contain so much, and other passages of the Bible come to mind, and I'm flooded with thoughts of those. So the Bible interprets itself. You don't need study notes. You don't need footnotes. You don't need concordances. You don't need whatever it is. You don't really need it. You just need to let the Bible interpret itself. And you don't even need me. You don't need my help either. You let the Bible interpret itself. Remember that as you read this Bible, it will speak to you as an individual. It will speak to you differently than it does to everybody else. Some of it will be the same, of course, but some of it might be a bit different. And so talk with your brothers and with your sisters and share your insights. Test the waters. Test what crossed your mind. See if it has any merit to it. You may find that others agree with you. You may find others have part of what the puzzle, pieces of the puzzle that you're missing. You may find that they have completely different ideas. Good girl. Okay, the wind blew the awning. You have a good day. Bye-bye.